So I'm very excited to welcome my good friend Peter Sue. I like to say he went from Wall Street to Magnolia Boulevard. And we're glad that he did. He has the most beautiful voice in the world. He released Lions on the Beach, which the Huffington Post calls indie pet sounds for the millennial generation.
Wow.
I would take that any day. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Peter Sue. You had quite a journey, one that I respond to, and I think a lot of us do here. Danielle worked in finance. I was pre-med, believe it or not. And look at us now.
Yeah, Magnolia.
We're here on Magnolia Boulevard, living the dream. I've seen you grow so much. He wrote 80 songs and chose 8 of those 80 songs. So how did you decide? Was it a feeling thing, like when you heard the recordings back, or how did you narrow it down to 8? And why did you select 8?
So how did I pick the 8 songs for my album?
Yeah.
Out of the 80. It was like 3 years of writing, and I would, like a lot of you guys were with me in those classes when I was writing and workshopping the songs. I'd say 8. They just felt they were my favorites, the ones that I wanted to play out live, and the ones that actually made sense as a kind of thematic piece of work. And when I put together the sequencing, I was like, oh, it's actually is this kind of arc of going from innocence to maturity, or going from the familiar into the unknown. So it was kind of cool, like some of the lyrics, like interlocking stuff. My subconscious, it was working for me, yeah.
So the story I love the most is that you are a busker at the Santa Monica Pier. Can we still catch you there?
Santa Monica Pier, that's basically where I, just being a street performer, going out there like 4 or 5 times a week, that is where I learned how to perform. So it's kind of like a year and a half here at the school, and writing, and then about a year and a half just performing as much as I could. And yeah, when you do it for 3 hours a day, and you kind of really get to the bottom of what you want to get across when you're performing, how to connect to people out there.
Yeah. While he was busking one day, there was some guy who was just sitting there for a really long time. And he looked creepy, nerdy. Like, what did you think? What was your impression? This guy,
It was normal at first.
But then when you busk, people sit down and watch you, or they might just, most people pass you by and maybe 2 people stop for a while, for like a song or 2, but this guy sat down and was stopped and watched for about an hour and then 2 hours, and I was trying not to repeat songs, so I played like every song I knew, and then he was doing the eye contact. It's all good, and then he came up to talk to me afterwards, and so it turned out that he was like, hey, I'm a music writer, I really like what you did, I write for the Huffington Post, I've interviewed Leonard Cohen and soundchecked with Paul McCartney, and I just like your stuff. And I told him about kind of my journey from going from corporate to creative and how working on an album. He's like, oh man, when you finish your album, like, let me know. I want to write a story. We'll do it. And I get not a lot, but some kind of things like that at the Pier. People are like, oh, I'm doing a film, I want you to write the song, things like that. So I didn't really expect, I was like, if it happens, I'll be so happy. And 6 months later, I had him on my email newsletter, and he got all the updates. He's like, hey, your album's out, like, let's, I'll do the story. So yeah.
Is that the most awesome story?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like to end with this little known fact about Peter Sue. Did you win that competition, that In-N-Out 12 by 12 competition?
This was the fun factoid question for this. It was high school, and we were bored, and we decided to have a 12 by 12 face-off. And for those of you that don't know, the In-N-Out 12 by 12, it's 12 patties, 12 cheeses. And they're like, do you want onions? Like, of course we want onions. So no, I did not win, because my friend, he's 6'3", like 250, and he ate In-N-Out for dinner. He beat me by, I think, 3 patties.
He had been in training for years. Would anyone like to hear a song by Peter Sue?
Yeah.
Yeah, no pressure. Let's do this. Thank you guys for joining us here today at Afternoon Delight. And this one's Into the Sea. It's off my album, Lions on the Beach. Here we go. Ooh. prodigal son with no father, sailing a ship with no rudder, chasing down the wind, traveling to the ends of the earth. Follow you into the sea, come the ways on which we meet. Follow you into the sea. Heard the prayers of my mother, heavy released like an anchor. Her begotten son, can she save him from the burning sun? I'll follow you into the sea, come the ways on which we meet. Follow you into the sea. Drowning in my own world. I'm sinking in my footsteps. Is this the beginning of understanding? If I could see you from where I'm standing, follow you into the sea, come the ways on which we meet. Follow you into the sea. Follow you into the sea, come the ways on which we meet. Follow you into the sea.
Wow.
Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.